And I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the South River Board of Education, Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Laws of 1975 of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the South River Board of Education was provided in the following manner. On September 14, 2021, the notice was delivered to the office of the South River Borough Clerk and posted at the Board of Education Administration Building. On September 14, 2021, the notice was faxed, mailed to the following newspapers: Home News Tribune, Sentinel. On September 14, 2021, the notice was posted at the South River Borough Clerk's office. Mr. Costa, would you please call the roll?
Excuse me, Mr. Mazak, here. Mr. Budson? Here. Mrs. Bush?
Mrs. Bush has been excused.
Mrs. Byrne?
Here.
Mrs. Lowe?
Here.
Mr. Nielsen?
Here.
Mr. Ashetar?
Mr. Rochatar has been excused.
Mrs. Dowski? Mr. Bannick?
Here.
Ms. Costa?
Ms. Costa has been excused. Okay, so our first item of business under our board secretary, Mr. Koska, are minutes.
We have 3 items. The regular minutes for the July 22nd need to be revised, and 16th and 19th of August, regular meeting.
Okay, board members, what is your pleasure on these minutes?
Move the minutes as read.
Motion by Mr. Nielsen. Second. Second by Mr. Basak. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. And Mr. Costa, we have some use of facilities
Yes,
tonight.
we do. We have the South River Primary School PTA, the South River Recreation, the South River Nights, and the South River Class of 2023.
Okay, and again, board members, your pleasure on this use of facilities?
Move the use of facilities in accordance with board policies.
Motion by Mr. Nielsen, second by Ms. Byrne. Any questions or comments on these? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes. Ms. Lell, our financial report, please.
Thank you. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby certifies that it is in receipt of the financial report, which indicates that no major account has been overexpended and that sufficient funds are available to meet the district's financial obligations for the remainder of the fiscal year. The Finance Committee recommends that the reports of the Board Secretary and the Treasurer of School Monies for July 2021 be approved, and I so move.
Motion by Ms. Lell,
Second, by
Second.
Nielsen.
second by Mr. Nielsen. Any questions or comments on the financial report? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. And now at this time, we're going to turn the meeting over to our Superintendent Zurcher for her monthly report.
Thank you, Mrs. Urbanek. I have 2 items for you to consider this meeting, the regular monthly report, as well as the approval of the 21-22 district goals. I'll begin with the report first. We had a great start to school, although it was quite a rainy, dreary day. But the smiles on our students really seemed to brighten the skies even on that dreary day. It's evident that our students are excited to be back at school in person. I encourage you to go on our Facebook page. We've been posting some pictures of what the kids have been doing in their classrooms at all levels. So please visit our page so you can get an idea of what school looks like now that we've returned in person. We really appreciate just how collaborative and flexible the community has been as we've just readjusted to things like arriving in the parking lot, remembering the traffic pattern, drop-off, pickup, etc. School-based exposures. Now that our total student body is present, our school environment looks quite different from last year. There's a new definition of a close contact, or I would say there's the same definition exists but has an exception to it. So close contact is defined as any 2 individuals who are within 6 feet of distance for longer than 15 minutes within a 24-hour period. The exclusion that now exists is for individuals who are K-12 students only, who are masked, wearing an approved and correct mask, and who are in a classroom environment. Those students would be excluded as close contacts in that setting and in that setting only. As you're aware, students, staff, and visitors are now required to wear a mask in school. Therefore, the only likely time our students will fit the definition of a close contact is while eating when masks are down. Also during physical activity, etc., if they keep their masks down and are within that 6 feet of distance for more than 15 minutes, it's pretty unlikely based on how our teachers have been planning their activities. So our facilities, classroom or lunchroom, with the amount of students that are currently enrolled, do not offer a lot of opportunity to distance all of our students more than 6 feet. That's just based on the number of students we have, the amount of space we have, and our current facilities. But we have, however, set up outdoor spaces for eating. We're revisiting the lunchroom schedule at the elementary school and are considering other areas throughout the schools to spread out our lunches. Every change we make, however, has a domino effect. So when we change something here, it seems to meet one purpose, but sometimes causes a challenge somewhere else. So we ask for your patience with that. We are facing some challenges with staffing shortages. You may have seen that we are posting positions. We are adding classes based on enrollment. We're just adding a second kindergarten classroom. We added another one in August. We quickly got to about 27, 28 students in a class. And now we have to go ahead and add another kindergarten session in order to lower those numbers. A lot of our students are coming to us needing some services, especially ELL services, and so we are looking at how we can be in compliance by providing services, but still meeting that large enrollment that's coming in. So we'll be reporting on that as we move along throughout the year. Quarantine instruction. The district has a quarantine instruction guide. We encourage you to look at that guide so you understand exactly what quarantine instruction looks like. That is posted on our district website. It is in the COVID tab found on the front page of our district website. Please go there often as information is changing, as guidance changes, as conditions change. Both of these documents provide important information about how the district is managing and responding to the ongoing pandemic. We are currently providing quarantine instruction through a combination of methods. In some cases, we do it through hybrid instruction, similar to what we were doing last year when we were back in person as well as virtual. Some of the instruction we are doing asynchronous, which means we are providing your child assignments to complete on their own, plus 1 hour of support to make sure students are completing assignments, don't need additional help, etc. That extra hour is for a person to act almost as a liaison if it's not the actual classroom teacher. For example, at the high school and middle school where students have multiple teachers. So if a student is struggling, they're on quarantine instruction, struggling with a specific content, that liaison teacher that checks in can be the liaison between the student and the teacher, make sure the child is still caught up. We provide quarantine instruction when your child is placed on quarantine as a school-based exposure. If your child is on quarantine because of travel or because of an outside exposure, we are not providing quarantine instruction at this time. I want to share with you some exciting news in the high school. We have a lot of clubs running at the high school. There's a full list of those clubs. It was released in our email last Friday, also posted on our website. We encourage your child to please join a club. Students are picking up their lunch and then they're going to their club, having lunch at their club with their peers, with their advisor. They seem to really like that model. And it's just a very energetic, fun time for our kids. After club time, after lunchtime, our students go for a help and access period. That help and access period is for students to see a teacher if they're struggling in a course. It's for students to see a counselor if they need assistance with an application, SAT prep, etc. So please encourage your child to make the most out of the club time as well as have. And in preschool, our preschool program is in the district is filled. We're at almost 150 students in district. We have our 2 classes in Accelero. We do have some spots in Accelero over at our South Amboy. Accelero does provide a lot of services. If you've been offered a preschool slot at the Accelero program, we strongly encourage you to take that slot. We can certainly give you a tour of that building, have you meet the teachers ahead of time, but please don't just let that slot go just because it's not in district. We really encourage our families who qualify for the support services to take advantage of them. And homecoming, we've been receiving some questions about homecoming. We are moving forward with a traditional homecoming as of right now. Our parade, our floats, our spirit games, so please come out, support our ramps. And we really missed homecoming last year, and we're just excited to have it back. Homecoming is Saturday, October 9th. And that concludes my report. So I will now move on to our district goals. All right, so in looking at the 21-22 school year, we have four goals for the board to review and approve. The first goal is in community relations. This has been an ongoing goal. You have seen this goal in prior years, and it is to continue to incorporate varied correspondence methods and increase outreach efforts for parents and families with communication barriers. So we've been doing our best to get translated materials out there, to provide an opportunity for people to translate the materials that we do send out. Everybody does sign up for our messages with their home language, which means you might be receiving that message in English, while your neighbor might be receiving the same message in their preferred language. We're sending things out in a variety of formats. Please follow our social media pages. They have a ton of information, as well as our website. Goal 2, instruction and learning. In response to the COVID pandemic, assess student learning delays and acceleration, and plan for supplemental intervention, enrichment, services, and support. We really need to determine what's happened for our students academically this past year and a half, and we need to figure out how we're going to support our students and make sure we make the most of this instructional year. Goal 3, physical, social, and emotional health. Support students, families, and staff as they reacclimate and transition to a full-time in-person learning environment safely and successfully. And finally, goal 4, which is in human resources. Increase recruitment efforts and sustain a working environment of highly trained and well-motivated staff. Any questions or comments on the goals?
I have just something about number 4. The increase recruitment efforts that's not just a South River thing, that's a nationwide thing. For some reason, the entire nation is seeing a lot of people who don't want to go into teaching anymore. So it's nothing that's wrong with our district. You know, I hear that nonsense that's spewed out there, like Tony always used to say. It's not. We have great teachers here, and we look forward to hiring great teachers in the future. But this is a national problem, that there's not enough teachers out there. So I just wanted to let that known, you know, to quell the social media flies.
Sure. No, we welcomed over 33 new staff members this year. So we definitely have folks out there who are excited to come and be part of our RAM family. I just think that there are some difficult to fill positions, definitely in math and the sciences. In other areas as well, we've been having a difficult time, foreign languages, for example. So we just really need to just really think about what other action steps we can take in order to find who's out there.
Yeah.
So.
Very good. That's all I have to say.
Where are those difficult positions? Is there any one particular area? Is it, just to get an idea?
Sure. Well, as an example, right now we have a vacancy for math special education at the middle school.
Special ed.
Special ed and math are combined positions.
Yes.
So that's a difficult to fill one. We have a math position at the high school that we're trying to fill as well. We had a very difficult time filling French, but we finally did find
That's true.
a great candidate. So
Then
we're,
it seems everybody else is struggling the same. Okay, thank you. Okay, all right, so board members, what is your pleasure on the monthly report and on the district goals
Move the
presented by the...
superintendent's report is read along with the district goals.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mr. Nielsen.
Second.
And we have a second by Mr. Bazak. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. At this time, the meeting will now be open for the reception of visitors to address agenda items only. There will be an open public session later on in this meeting to address any concerns that you may have for the board. If you'd like to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address, and keep your comments to a 10-minute limit. First call, second call, third call. We're going to close the public portion and move on to our consent resolution. Mr. Kukoska.
Thank you. The South River Board of Education, by means of a consent resolution, adopt various resolutions of a routine and non-controversial nature at one time. Whereas a below list of resolutions are hereby adopted by said Board of Education in whole as if the same were individually acted upon. Under athletics, item 6.1, finance 8.1 through 8.26, construction 9.1 through 9.7, negotiations 10.1 and 10.2, policy and legislation 11.1 through 11.4, human resources 12.1 through 12.34, and safety and risk 13.1 through 13.3.
Thank you. And what is the board's pleasure on the consent resolution?
Move the consent resolution.
Motion by Mr. Nielsen,
Second.
second by Ms. Lowe. All in favor?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, roll call. That's right.
Mr. Bazak? Yes. Mr. Budson?
Yes.
Mrs. Byrne?
Yes.
Mrs. Lowe?
Yes.
Mr. Nielsen?
Yes.
Mrs. Stowski?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes. Thank you. So that's what happens when I don't write my notes out here. I know.
That's what you got.
Thanks. Okay, we're going to move on to our committee reports now, starting with athletics. Mr. Budson, please.
So here's a new item since Monday. Addition approved fall league high school boys basketball. And that's all we have.
All right, thank you. Buildings and grounds, Mr. Nielsen.
Thank you, Madam President. As everyone saw when we walked in, that the schools were all ready for the school year this year. Mr. Blaja and his crew did great work, even considering that they had extended learning enrichment programs, summer camps, and food distributions throughout the school the entire summer. In the high school, the maintenance staff's been working on the conversion of an old classroom into a conference room. They installed a new HVAC unit, walls were redone, lighting replaced, and a new drop ceiling was put in. And if you notice tonight, just down the hall from the cafeteria, another project it's actually finished now from his report. They just started it. The additional space for cafeteria for the students during lunch period. A bank of lockers were removed in order to make way for the seating area where the students can have their lunch or just relax during the school day. Middle school classrooms were painted, old television sets removed from the wall and replaced. And in the elementary school, the main office received a fresh coat of paint. Primary school is now complete for their summer cleaning to welcome all of the young boys and girls back to school. And with fall sports being in full swing, you can see them out there now lining fields, prepping fields for soccer matches and for football games. And as for Mr. Blaja, go Rams. And the other thing, the track is now open, it's complete, it looks great. The tennis courts are being worked on as we speak. Hopefully by the end of October, I believe Mr. Kukoska said they should be completed. And that'll be it, just in time for spring sports.
Great, thank you. Just want to ask, all those items that you're mentioning, Mr. Nielsen, those all done in-house by our own staff?
Absolutely, everything's done in-house. You know, and that's a testament to the crew that Mr. Blaja has working for him. They're hard-working individuals.
Great, thank you. Finance, Ms. Lau.
Thank you so much. There are additional items since Monday night's meeting. I'd like to start with 8.19, which had a revision. And then from there on, I will continue to read the new ones to be stated. So 8.20, addition approved fiscal year 2021 PEE carryover funds. 8.21, addition approved contract Smartest EDU Inc. formative learning for the 21-22 school year. 8.22, addition approved contract Kaplan North America LLC SAT preparation courses for the 21-22 school year. 8.23, addition approved contract Foley Prep SAT preparation courses for the 21-22 school year. 8.24, addition approved tennis courts project change order number 001. 8.25, similarly, change order number 002. And 8.26, addition approved tennis courts project allowance number 001. And that is all I have for this evening for finance.
Thank you. Would you please continue with our instruction?
Yes, gladly. So in instruction, there's nothing new to read, but I would like to follow in the steps of the committee chair, which is Ms. Bush. She could not be here this evening, so I just want to be able to share a little bit in terms of the snippets from Dr. Trevisano's monthly report, where he did share that we welcomed 33 staff. He listed how many teachers, child study team members, and administrator, paras, and additional support roles. He also went on to further discuss the amount of curriculum changes that have occurred, requested by the state, and we are required to do that. So we covered science, visual and performing arts, world language, 21st century college and career-based courses. 33 guides have been revised, with an additional 40 to come. So the goal is to have them all done by September 2022. Having said that, he also mentioned the new math program that the district implemented from grades K through 8, and how the teachers have been exploring both the print and the online resources. I mean, this is only the third week of school, so they've started the process. I'm pretty sure he will continue to provide us with updates throughout the school year. This was a huge endeavor that was undertaken to get as many classes done consecutively for the success of the students. And then he mentioned a district professional development catalog that's going to be available, or is available, to the staff, and it contains a variety of topics. And I'm pretty sure he will continue to share information related to that as the months progress. And that is all I have for this evening.
That's a lot. Thank you very much. Moving on to negotiations, we do have two additions from Monday night. It's the revised SREA sidebar agreement for high school lunch activity, and it's the addition of an SREA sidebar agreement for peer leadership advisor. That is all under negotiations at this time. Under policy and legislation, Mr. Goodson.
There's 4 items. 11.1, adopt second reading revised policy 3512, covert consideration. 11.2, approve first reading revised policy 6173.1, remote learning. 11.3, approve abolish policy 3513, covert travel. And 11.4, addition, approve first reading new policy 6163.1, dog therapy program. That's all I have.
Thank you. Human Resources, Mr. Beza.
Thank you, Madam President. I have one revision and 10 additional items this Monday evening. I'll start off with the revision, which is item 12.23, approve payment to staff members for 7th period class coverage, high school 2021-2022 school year. Item 12.25, addition, approve donation of sick days, employee number 4113, 2021-2022 school year. Item 12.26, addition, approve resignation, Lori Rita, lunch aide. Item 12.27, addition, approve resignation for retirement, Deborah DeVivo, high school physical education teacher. Item 12.28, addition, approve resignation for Irina De Silva, lunch aide. Item 12.29, addition, approved high school lunch club staff 2021-2022 school year. Item 12.30, addition, approved staff stipend professional development training for 504's 2021-2022 school year. Item 12.31, addition approved adult school staffing 2021-2022 school year. Item 12.32, addition approved intimate family leave Stephanie Ganella, primary school special education teacher 2021-2022 school year. Item 12.33, addition approved payment to staff member for 7th period class coverage, middle school 2021-2022 school year. And last, item 12.34, addition approved staff stipend lunch aid longevity 2021-2022 school year. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Safety and Risk Management, Ms. Sadowski.
Thank you, Mr. Bank. There are 3 items on the agenda, which were read on Monday. There's no additions, but I just want to highlight item 13.3, which is the approval of the school safety manual for the 2021 and 2022 school year. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. School Community Relations, Ms. Byrd.
We do have one press release that came in. South River High School Student of the Month for September of 2021. South River High School is proud to honor one student each month as the South River School Student of the Month. Students are chosen based on their exemplary status as a model student through community service, academic record, modeling the Strive for 5 core ethical values of respect, responsibility, honesty, kindness, and service, and maintaining an exemplary behavioral and attendance record. Helena Tomakzowick has been selected as our first student of the month for the 21-22 school year due to her exemplary academic performance and commitment to the community service and leadership. Helena's list of community service is impressive. She volunteers at the South River Food Bank and Manna Cafe, tutors children at the First Reformed Church, organizes items donated to the school drive, and performs the Nutcracker in the adapted format for children with autism and sensory sensitivity with the American Repertory Ballet. Congratulations to Helena. And that's all for tonight.
Thank you. Our School Board Borough Council Liaison Committee, Mr. Nielsen.
Nothing new to report since Monday night.
Thank you. PTA Liaison, Ms. Sadowski.
Thank you. All the PTAs are looking for members to help support the various events throughout the year. It's a great way of getting involved with the schools, and it's easy to attend the meetings now. Most of them are done via Zoom. The primary school PTA, they were present at the parent social event that was held prior to the start of the school year, and also at back to school night last week. They are selling Really Team discount cards for $20 for discounts at over 200 local locations, including restaurants and stores, like the Ramar, Texas Roadhouse. These cards can be used until, I think, the end of December of 2022, so you get any time out of them. Purchasing information is in the E-RAM. They have Picture Day coming up next Tuesday, and all the ordering information was sent home last week, and it can also be found in the E-RAM. I believe they're posting something on Facebook as a reminder for next week for the parents. October 15th, they are holding a fall festival outside on the football field. They're going to have different activities set up for the kids. It'll be a fun day for them. The elementary school PTA, their back to school night was held last night, and I believe there's representatives there for that. Their picture day was last week, or Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. The middle school PTA, their back to school night was Tuesday, and they are still scheduling, I believe, their pictures. I haven't heard anything.
They're done.
Oh, they're done? Oh, okay. I haven't heard anything from them. And we are still looking for a president for the high school PTA, if anybody is interested. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. And our South River Public Library Liaison, Mr. Budzen.
On Tuesday at 4 o'clock, they're having a pony and petting zoo for the kids. And if I ask anyone to come to the library during the month of October, they will have a nice Halloween setup for you. And that's all I have.
Thank you. our South River Foundation for Educational Excellence and our Student Board Representative, we do not have reports this evening. Do we have a report from our attorney?
No, nothing to report tonight.
Thank you. And is there any old or new business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none, Ms. Well, would you please pay the bills?
Sure. The Finance Committee recommends that all bills presented, having been certified by the School Business Administrator Board Secretary, be paid as listed, and I so move.
Motion by Ms. Well,
Second.
second by Mr. Nielsen. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now at this time, we will once again open up the meeting to the reception of visitors. And this is the time where the public may address any concern or comment that they have for the board. State your name and address. Keep your comments to a 10-minute time limit. The floor is open. First call, second call, third call. We'll close this public portion. And having no executive session this evening, a motion for adjournment is in order.
Nielsen.
Motion by Mr. Nielsen,
Second.
second by Ms. Byrne. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.